HBO gearing back up into full swing here. Game of Thrones, like we mentioned, coming back in 2 weeks from yesterday. But premiering last night was season 7 of Veep and season 2 of Barry. I'll just vamp quick on Veep. We've talked about Veep before on here. I like to check in with it. It's one of the most well-written shows. Iannucci just released Death of Stalin last year. Fantastic movie that we both enjoyed. And if you like that movie, you'll like Veep. The writing is very quick, very sharp. Some of the lines from this show, I just can't believe that they actually make it on. And I mean, you obviously have Julia Louis-Dreyfus at the top, but the cast is just stacked. You got Tony Hale from Arrested Development, Matt Walsh, who you would recognize from a bunch of the movies from the early 2000s.
He's in everything.
Yeah, he's in everything. Reed Scott, Timothy Simons, who's kind of been the breakout of the show. His star has really risen as Jonah. Gary Cole, which is one of that guy in Hollywood, I would say. If you keep scrolling through, you'll find everybody. Paul Scheer had a very tiny role in this, and he somehow reappears, and every time it's just very funny.
Oh, I haven't gotten to him yet. That's exciting. Yeah. Awesome.
He's like a TV producer on it, and just shows up every once in a while. It's great. But yeah, just one of the best, and one of the best shows on TV for comedy. And this season, Selena's running, which for president, which she thinks is her second time doing it, but it's actually her fourth time, which she keeps being reminded of. Andy Daly joined the cast this season, and it seems like he's gonna have a very funny running gag on this show, which is gonna be great. And Jonah is also running for president, which adds a nice absurdist perspective on the whole thing. In last night's episode, I'm not spoiling too much because I won't really go on the jokes on it, but he's married to his stepsister, which comes out while he's being interviewed on television. So some very funny jokes around that. If you haven't watched Veep, each episode's only 30 minutes, and especially with the current political climate, it adds a levity and an absurdity that you can enjoy rather than the absurdity of our normal political atmosphere. So it's great.
Yeah, I think that point there is kind of what people are most looking forward to for this final season, because Veep, for the first 6 seasons, it existed as the most accurate political show on TV. All the DC folks say it was closer to that than it was to House of Cards, certainly, right? And more importantly, it was lampooning and having a go at the machinations of politics, right? And it was done really well, and it's so well written, so smart, and also it's hilarious that it's really the whole package. But now, when you have this is the first season that is coming out with Trump in office, because Julia, she had breast cancer, right, or cancer anyway, and they had to postpone this final season. So now we have a season coming out where the political climate is so ridiculous all the time that how can you really lampoon it? So I really want to see what this final season tries to say. It's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's basically what people who have seen the whole season say is that it's different, but it's one of those shows where you're getting to see people who are just phenomenal at their job, and even if it's different, it's still one of the better shows on TV. So it's worth checking into.